and welcome back to Sarah's Joyful Journey. I'm Sarah Joy and it is RT Tuesday. This is going to be probably a little bit of a shorter video just because I'm tired and I have been working so hard even though I've been off work for a few days. If you don't know, I'm having surgery this week for carpal tunnel on my right hand and I'm off work. My last day of work was Saturday. It was a tough one for me, but it's all good. I've just been in more pain and more tired the past week. So I'm walking, but I'm not walking the way that I was because it's I'm uncomfortable is a good way to put it. My hand is feeling achy. I'm feeling just trained and so tired from the pain, which kind of makes sense because the cortisone shot is out of my system. I didn't think it was helping, and it did apparently do a little. It did definitely help with some of the swelling because I noticed it right, you could see it right there is that big ball of inflammation right on my wrist. So that wasn't there. It definitely helped the inflammation, and that just makes it really hard. Like, I can do this, but that's very painful. So I can move all my fingers, but it is very, very, very uncomfortable because it pulls on that tendon that's swollen and everything. So I am ready for surgery. It was supposed to be at 1:30. I found out today it got pushed back by another 2 hours. So I have to be there now at 1:30 and surgery's at 3:30. I am allowed no food or drink after midnight tonight, or not tonight, tomorrow night. So it's going to be a really, really long day. I am not worried about the food aspect. I've got a good plan for that. But I drink so much water, it's not even funny. Yeah, and I usually have at least 1 dose of caffeine a day, so I'm not even going to get that. That's not going to be pleasant. Doable, don't get me wrong. It's totally going to be doable, but I don't like the thought of it. That's a really long time because if I also know me that if I get nauseous from the pain or from anesthesia, which can happen, not like nauseous gonna throw up, but just nauseous. My stomach is upset. I don't drink when I'm nauseous. So I could end up dehydrated. And that's what I'm kind of worried about. We'll see. I don't know if I'm getting an IV. I would imagine that I'm getting an IV, which will help with some of that. But still, I think my current plan is I'm going to either wake up or stay up till like 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday night. And then I'm going to drink at least one of these with water and at least one of these with salty. I might start at 11. Yeah. Get some extra good hydration in there. I'm trying not to spend so much time outside since I've had a few days off, because the more I work outside, I get dehydrated quicker. And I have been running in a state of dehydration for a while. Or it is dehydration. It's like I'm like right there. I'm not like super dehydrated, but I'm definitely not hydrated either. And it takes a lot of effort. So I've been drinking a lot the past few days and working on trying to recover my hydration. I've been using 2 to 3 packets of salty or Element a day just to kind of like help boost that. But we'll see. Sorry, Piper's out there barking about something. I have no idea what. Ghost is in his bed. He, I think, is going to be sad about surgery because even though I have a hands-free leash, I'm not going to be able to walk him for a few days. And I haven't walked him. We did do a walk today. We only did about 2 miles today because it was later and it got hot. And he was panting a lot. So I was okay, but he was not. So we turned around and we came back so that he could get cooled off and stuff like that because, I don't want it to be too much for him either. And then this past few days, I've just been really busy meal prepping. I got some good stuff done the other day, which you'll have seen that video. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm working on a series of holiday recipes or holiday baking that will be coming out at the holiday time. So somewhere, I think the plan is around the beginning of December is when I'm going to release it. But it means that I have to spend the time doing it and trying to flesh out the ideas, putting them together, creating the recipes, things like that, and testing them, making sure everything goes according to plan and it tastes good. So I've been doing a lot of that this week. I have some more that I need to do this afternoon. Not going to give any more spoilers other than holiday and baking, which it does feel very weird doing that in the middle of the summer, especially since something had peppermint in it today. So that was definitely weird. Some of the other stuff that I'm working on is not as weird, but definitely thinking about peppermint and holiday baking in July is weird, but it's okay. I need time to work it out. It's going to take me a while to get everything situated, and I know that I'm probably going to not feel like doing it for probably a couple weeks after the surgery, and then after that I have to go back to work, and I'm still hitting the ground working really hard on applying for jobs. Well, not super hard, but I'm applying to like 5 or 6 jobs a week, which is pretty good. I did get a notice that I didn't even get an interview for one of them, but that's okay. I was expecting that happens. I think I've applied for 15 jobs at this point, so we'll see. I just keep applying and doing a few here and a few there, and it'll all work out eventually. Hopefully my timing will be good. It's hard for me to put on an application on when I can actually start because I don't know that time frame. I think I have a closer time frame in mind now, because when I saw my hand doctor yesterday, he was talking about something that there's like 90 days of post-op type treatments and care. If I read that correctly, I think that's what that is. That may not be accurate. It may be that there was something saying that I'm at the 90-day mark of treatment, which is also true. So it could go either way. It could be I'm at 90 days or I have 90 days to go. Maybe it's both. I don't know. So we'll see. I'm still hoping to find something around the end of October, beginning of November would be fantastic, because that's the timeline that I got given from the lawyer. But it's still hard to know exactly how that is going at this point. A lot of that will depend on how the recovery goes for my right hand, things like that. And if we're going to have to look further into the left hand. At this point, I think the left is doing okay-ish. I still have issues, I still have pain, but it comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes. And I'm hoping that once the right hand gets corrected, here, I'll take off my watch and I'll hold up my wrist so you can see that even though you can see swelling right there, and even just circling that is really sensitive, I'm not super swollen right here. I can feel a tiny amount on this one, but not the same way as my right hand. And I knew that the left was mostly just from overcompensating at this point, but I wanted to get it put into the claim just in case it had to go further, and I didn't want it to just like be forgotten and dropped. And it may come down to that's the case, but we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. So as far as videos go, the rest of this week, there will be no cooking video on Friday. There's probably not going to be any cooking videos for a while, just because I've got to recover from surgery, and then I'm working really hard on this cooking series for the holiday that I'm putting my time and effort into that. So that's going to take priority. So I may get something out before the holidays. I may not. We'll just see. We'll just see how inspiration hits, how it goes. More often than not, I'm a baker, and that's tend to how I be creative is with baking. I love to cook and enjoy cooking too, but baking is my forte and makes me happy. And I need to get this stuff done because I need to take a break from baked goodies. Not that I eat a lot. I don't. I work on them and I do enjoy them. I give most of my baked goodies away, or they sit in the freezer and things like that, so that I can pull out a reasonable portion and control myself there. But even then, if I have a reasonable portion twice a week, that's 2 times a week. And if I do that every week, it adds up and the scale starts going up and I don't feel as good. So yeah, so I want to get this taken care of so that I can take a block of time off, and then I can do all the videos, and then I'll be really good. I'm toying with the idea of January. I'm just going to do carnivore, and I think I'm going to do dairy-free carnivore, and I want to do a good 90-day stint. Or it might be carnivore or beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I do know that I do want it to be dairy-free. I do want it to be like 90 days. And I'm thinking the beginning of the year would be a good time to do it, but don't hold me to that yet. It's still quite some time away, but looking at how the rest of this year is shaping up and with stress and things, I don't want to put a huge challenge on my shoulders. So that's kind of where I'm leaning towards now, is doing that. And it may end up being longer than my 90 days. I may end up pushing it for quite some time and get the baked goodies out of my life for quite some time. As much as I enjoy it and it's fun, like I said, they do tend to stall the weight loss. Yeah, so it's kind of like an antithesis. It just doesn't work very well for me. Tomorrow, we are going to have a fun day, because I figured that would be a great way to spend my last day before surgery. So we're getting up early and we are taking our daughter to work, and then we are headed to Animal Kingdom. And it is typically when I would do a what I'm eating in a day video, and we are still doing that, but we are doing it what I'm eating in a day a la eating out because we're having breakfast at Tusker House. So I'll show you some of that and show you the interactions that will go with that, because it is a character breakfast. Then we're going to spend at least part of the day at Animal Kingdom. We might hop over and do something else. I haven't decided. I might try to do a DAS again. Kind of iffy on that. But we'll see. And then in the afternoon, we do know that we want to come home and just relax for a little bit. And then we have dinner tomorrow night at Texas State Brazil. And I'm going to bring my wrist brace. And if I have to, I'm going to ask my husband to cut my meat, because I am going in there with the intention of being the description of what Dr. Berry says full is. Just stuffed till the point you cannot take another bite without being sick. And that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat my heart's delight on yummy, roasted, grilled meats till I cannot physically eat one more bite. And then I'm not even going to notice that I have surgery, and I'm not going to really want to be eating, because I will have ate probably 2 days worth of food is kind of the plan tomorrow. I'm just going to eat like 2 days worth of food and then not eat until probably Friday morning. Honestly, if I do eat anything, I'm thinking on Thursday, it might just be a creamy, and that just really depends on how a spoon fills in my right hand. That may not happen, but I'll definitely be drinking some water and hydrating. I'm going to bring one of my big Stanleys with me in the car. I'm going to fill it with ice and water and electrolytes, or at least ice and water, and then I can put have Matt put the electrolytes in, and I can sip it on the way home and just hydrate as best as I can from there. I'm getting zero pain medication with the surgery, which I think is becoming a more common thing. I've been talking to people who've had carpal tunnel. Some of them say that they had it just a couple years ago and they got pain medication and they were surprised I'm not getting anything. And then I've talked to other people who they're like, yeah, I had a laparoscopic procedure on my neck and they didn't give me anything. And I'm like, okay, I get that. I get that there's an opioid crisis and they don't want to perpetuate like addiction and stuff like that. It's not something that I struggle with. So I was just shocked when they're like, yeah, you can ice and Tylenol and ibuprofen. I'm like, okay, I was not expecting that. I was expecting at least 1, maybe 2 days, just to like keep you super comfortable. I'm sure I'll get something in the IV when I'm in surgery, but that'll be okay. I am ordering some things tomorrow. I'm ordering some bandages that they recommended, and then I still have to order some Tylenol or pick up some Tylenol. I got Aleve because I like that better, and I got some ibuprofen as well. My plan is to alternate either ibuprofen and Tylenol or Aleve and Tylenol, because Aleve is naproxen and ibuprofen is ibuprofen, obviously. And you can stack and alternate those to help with better pain control, but you can't stack those two together because they're both anti-inflammatories. And my stomach can get very upset with them, so I'm not going to be doing that. I'm leaning towards using naproxen more than the 800 milligram ibuprofen that I have, because it works for a longer period of time, and I find that my body responds better to it rather than taking. I can take 2 Aleve every 12 hours, and then I can back that up with a bonus. So usually what I do is take 2 Aleve, and they say that lasts most of the day, and it usually does. But you can take up to 3 if you need to within a day. So I can take 2 at once, and then 12 hours later, I can take another one, which means in between time at the 4 to 6 hour mark, I can take Tylenol, and then again at that 4 to 6 hour mark, I can take more Tylenol or Aleve or whatever, and I can do the same thing with the ibuprofen. So we'll see how that goes. And I got some new books, but I don't know that I bought physical books, so I don't know if I'm going to feel comfortable holding those, but we'll see how it goes. I do have my Kindle, and I know that I can easily just get in the bed with my pillow and my reading pillow, and then I can put my knees up, and then I can set it on my knees, and I can just set it with the other hand and just chill. And I think the plan is just to rest as much as possible on Friday. So I'm a little behind where I want to be on my walking challenge, but I know moving forward after the next week or so, I will be able to hit the ground running better on that, make up my steps that I'm short. I'm not a whole lot short, but I'm a little shorter than where I wanted to be. And it's okay. This is a year-long challenge, so I can spread that out. And the point is being consistently, and I am still pretty consistently moving, not as early as I've been wanting to, just because, like I said, I've been tired, and I've been trying to honor that tired, knowing that I'm going into surgery, and I'm going to honor that tired coming out of surgery too. But I am ordering a sling for my arm so that I can start going for a walk. Hopefully I'll feel like doing it Saturday morning, even if it's just a mile or 2, at least a mile there and a mile down. That would be fantastic. I would consider that a very, very successful walk. So that's my hope to do on Saturday without Ghost. If I'm feeling up to it, I might do one on Friday, but I don't know that I'm going to be up to it. So I don't want to box myself into that. But that is pretty much all that has been happening in this week. So you'll get a video tomorrow, and then I think I might do a little bit of a surgery type vlog just to like check in on how I'm doing before surgery, how I'm doing after surgery, and probably that next day, like when do I end up eating, stuff like that. I know on Saturday, which is 2 days after my surgery, I am able to loosen and change the dressing. So yeah. And then I am going to my friend Nancy's house on Saturday. We're doing a pizza party, which is going to be fun. And then we roll right into the following week. I think the only video that I'm going to commit to next week, 100% for sure, is going to be Tuesday, because I know I can just get things set up and I can sit in front of the camera and just chat with you guys. And then it's Key to Orlando next week as well. And I don't know how I'm going to be feeling as far as surgery goes. Like, am I going to want to hold a camera? Even with the tripod that gets set up, I still have to like handle equipment. I still have to be editing and things like that. And I may not be up for that, but we're going to play it by ear. But I am going to promise at least one video, because I can do that pretty easy without a whole lot of editing. So yeah, so next week is going to be a really light week video wise. And then hopefully the week after that, I will be feeling much better and I can get closer back to a regular schedule. Wow, I've just rambled for a while, just about the week, but hey, that's what happens when we spill the tea. I would love to know what your favorite holiday recipe is, whether it's cooking, baking, or what type of things that you enjoy looking forward to at the holiday season. Comment down below and let me know. Might provide me with some inspiration for my holiday series that I'm working on. And if not, I will check in with you guys for a fun day out vlog tomorrow, and we'll give you lots of updates as I can on how surgery is going. So I hope that you will have a wonderful and joyful day. Bye for now.